It's funny, people ask me all the time, Dami, how do you negotiate these partnerships between one big client of yours and another massive venue in St. Kilda? Dami, how do you get a franchise via a cold call? I literally had someone ask me that last week. Bro, you got a franchise with 7 locations, their whole state in Melbourne, to work with you from an initial cold call in March. How did you do that? Dami, how did you influence a whole country and Bali and New Zealand to buy into your version of a certain media concept with Kosa Century, your production company, that now has been attracting certain people that want to acquire it for an acquisition since last year when you just did it in Australia? How did you influence a whole country to buy into the way you want to create content, represent influencers in sub 2 years? Well, listen, guys, there's a few things that I've learned about negotiation by the young age of 24, and I don't know everything, but I know a few things. So here are the 3 things that I've learned about negotiation. The first thing, and it sounds simple, but it's so true, the person who needs it less has more leverage in the negotiation. It's the same for dating. So for example, if you're a beautiful young lady, right? And I'm sure we have quite a number of women actually that watch the YouTube channel. It's, I think, slightly more women on Instagram that look at our reels, right? So if you're a beautiful young lady and you're out and about with your friends and a guy comes up to you saying, hey, listen, you're ugly, but we should go out sometime. You're going to be like, who are you? You came up to me to talk to me. And I know some guys do this. They might be a bit on the spectrum of it being real. But comes up to you, say, you're ugly. You're going to be like, who are you? No, because this guy came with such arrogance and he came up to you. So it's like, if he came up to you, why is he acting like he has the power? Doesn't make sense. Deal lost. But if he approaches you in a way where it's like, hey, listen, sorry, ladies, I just wanted to interrupt your night because she's gorgeous. What's your name? You're acknowledging that, you're the power imbalance is in her favor currently. And, you want to be polite about it. You want to be a gentleman. What's your name? Blah, 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 blah. Start chatting. It's the same in negotiation. So, for example, if I'm cold calling someone and I know they're a big baller, 8-figure guy, whatever. Hey, listen, how are you? Look, I don't want to take much of your time. I did a bit of research on your company. I know that you're working with a few other agencies. Listen, this is what I do. This is who I've worked with. You're probably not going to be a fan of getting another cold call, but I think you'll be a fan of what results you've been able to generate from A, B, and C. Now, it's Monday. I don't want to take much of your time, but when do you have 15 minutes later this week? I just want to show you how we generated an extra 250K in Q1 using this process for you. The worst case is you'll be able to steal this idea without integrating it with us. Best case, we make you an extra 250K using this process. Fair enough. Obviously, I probably wouldn't talk that much on an initial cold call, but that kind of frame where you're acknowledging that they have the power, right? And that you're willing to just, temporarily be subservient or be aware of your position in that power dynamic allows you to be, interesting situation, allows you to be more relatable, right? Compared to other people that try to come in and try to strong arm the other person. So the person that needs it less will usually have the leverage. And you have to be aware of that. And on the flip side, if you're the person that is in power, well, great. You now can remember that the person wants something from you. You are in control. Some people try to be very manipulative and try to do some stupid psychology to try and be try to manipulate them. And stop that. Because the thing is, you can stimulate what's called buyer's remorse in someone, right? So that'll bring me on to my next point, step number 2. Don't have buyer's remorse. So what I mean by that is, if you're about to close someone on some sort of deal, agreement, or partnership or negotiation, make sure that after they've signed the contract, make sure that after they've purchased the thing, make sure that after whatever terms have been aligned and agreed upon, that after they sign it or after they make the payment, they're not going to feel dumb for doing it. Because buyer's remorse, oh my days, this is one of the quickest ways to kill your reputation. Because they'll be saying, oh, X person got me in this deal, he got me all excited, he signed me, and then I wanted to cancel the next day, or I wanted to cancel after a month. And this is how you increase your churn. If you're in e-commerce, this is how you get people that want to buy back and are going to mess up your PayPal and Stripe scores, and you're going to have a high I forgot the word, it's escaped me, but basically you don't want the stats. You don't want anyone to be doing that to you on a frequent basis, because it really can mess up your business in a variety of ways that you're probably not even aware of on the financial back end and the accounting softwares, right? So the second thing is you want to make sure that there's no buyer's remorse. So when I'm negotiating deals or terms, I'm making sure that after this, maybe even they feel like they got a slight upper hand on me, even though it was equal, I want them to feel like, damn, like that's such a good deal. And the reason why I want that feeling is because they can go to sleep at night thinking, man, that was so fair that I almost feel like I got the upper hand on him. Because that is a better frame to be in than you feeling like you had the upper hand on them. Because it's about longevity. So you need to give to get, right? Gary Vee talks about it all the time. Right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook, right hook. Or right, jab, 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 then right hook, right? You want to jab, 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 jab. Give. Alex Hormozi does the same. Give. And then ask. And it makes the ask feel so effortless and it makes it seem so reasonable, right? So that's the second thing that I want to talk about. You want to make sure they don't have buyer's remorse. Now the third thing, and there's so many other things, and there's like a sales part of the Med Community Consulting that you can check out in the link below if you want. Some of the videos are in the free Skool group. But another thing is you want to make sure that basically you want to make sure that if you're going to close them today, 10 years from now, you're going to be like, that was a good decision that I closed them. And here's what I mean by this. It sounds, again, simple, but sometimes the simple things are the most effective. If I'm closing someone on a deal, I'm still very young. I'm 24, 25 next month. But I'm still like, if I close this client, would I be able to use them as a case study? To be able to like use their case study to then get a bigger client in the same industry, then a bigger, then a bigger, then a bigger. So by the time I'm in my mid 30s or early 30s, I have 20, 100 franchises all paying me 10 grand a month. Like that's an easier business. That's $1 million business, $1 million a month business, just because I have 100 franchises paying me $10,000 a month, compared to what I'm still, for the most part, doing with our SMB side of the agency, where a client pays $1,000 a month to like do SEO and some other tactical stuff. So for me, I'm more strategically thinking in that sense. And the good thing about that is when I'm approaching a negotiation, I'm not necessarily just looking now for like the quick 2K, 5K a month, 3K a month, 10K a month, 7K a month, 1K a month, whatever. I'm more thinking, if I knock it out the park for this person and I get them at a price point that is so fair that they're like, look, even if this guy doesn't say half the things he's going to do, he's still like 3x cheaper than most people and he's delivering a very similar result, if not better. Well, first of all, I know they're probably going to stick around for at least a year because our churn rate is actually much lower than the average agency. It's around 7%. Most agencies cannot say that, and I've got screenshots of that from Strike. I was telling a girl this recently, and she's like, that's crazy, because she's in the marketing space, because it's rare. So that's part of the trick there. But it's also, I want to make sure that they have such positive things to say about me post or during this business relationship that 5 years down the line, if someone else sees them and knows that person and asks, hey, do you know Dami, is he legit? He's like, they can say he's so legit. There's a recent NDAS client we signed up, and he was friends with an ex-swimming pool client of ours from 2019. I was 19, 20 when I closed his friend. And he saw this guy on our website, and he's like, yeah, I'm friends with this guy. He said good things about you. I had a chat to him. That's why I want to give this a go. And he signed up for 3 months, right, on a 3-month contract and stayed longer. So again, the third thing is, is this something that I'm going to be happy I closed them on or agreed to them on in 10 years? With Quasar Central and some of the other stuff, I know that in some ways, people are going to be able to look back when they're 30, 40, and they're going to look back at that video and they'll be like, wow, I remember that day. That was so much fun. That was so much fun. Now that video has 1 million views. Maybe they're actors now. They have opportunities. All because Dami paid and sorted out and got this whole venue and got all these people in here and made it work. Like that feels good even for me to say that, like genuinely. I get happy knowing that people are going to have memories that are going to last beyond their lifetime on YouTube and on the internet because of an idea that I had in my mind and I wanted to execute to a high level and that I had to influence ethically to get everyone involved in. That feels so good, right? So you need to have that everlasting feeling after you've signed someone up, not just for the transaction's sake, but so you can have them as a relationship, business, friend, etc., much, much longer than the first initial transaction you'll do together. So anyway, guys, those are the 3 things that I learned about negotiation over the last 5 to 6, 7 years of doing business and after the last 5 years of having my marketing company. And if you got value out of this, guys, like, share, comment. As always, think mega.